Hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one, I'm here to talk about a scene that, for me, was one of the scenes the night of UFC 306, and that's Jon Jones sitting almost side by side next to current light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira. Obviously, Jon Jones being the current heavyweight champion. There was a lot of talks of a super fight between the two. Jon Jones has Stipe Miocic now, UFC 309, sometime in November, if I'm not mistaken. A fight that could be Jon Jones' potential last fight. He did speak about that. He actually said that that might be his last fight. We're going to get into that video, the details of the interaction between Alex Pereira, light heavyweight champion, and heavyweight champion Jon Jones, and so much more in this video. But before getting started, make sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification to get all of this that is new from this channel, your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. Alex Pereira sitting next to Jon Jones. I remember when the cameraman gave us that picture, I felt the tension sitting where I was at, and that's hundreds of miles away from Las Vegas. In all honesty, I don't know how I feel about Jon Jones risking his legacy after Stipe Miocic, but the idea of him facing Alex Pereira is just too good for it not to happen, especially taking into consideration that we're talking about two active fighters, especially taking into consideration that Alex Pereira is pretty much done with that light heavyweight division after the Ankalaev fight that could or could not happen. Obviously, we have a Roundtree after Roundtree. Perhaps it's Ankalaev. Who knows? But the potential of Alex Pereira to move up to that heavyweight division is very high. It's been talked about. If he was to move up to that heavyweight division and capture a title, obviously there's the potential of being the first ever to capture 3 titles in 3 different divisions in the UFC. First ever. The double thing has been done many times from Conor McGregor, Daniel Cormier, and obviously we have now Alex Pereira, a guy that's championed 2 different divisions, middleweight, light heavyweight, but the potential of heavyweight's still there. Obviously, Alex Pereira comments on the interaction. He claims that he is ready and willing to be a training partner for Jon Jones ahead of UFC 309, which would serve him well, as well, just because he has Roundtree UFC 307, and it's just amazing, the interaction between the two. I would also like to add that there is quite a bit of a size difference between the two. Not a gigantic one, not one that Alex Pereira can't potentially fill, but there is definitely a noticeable size difference between the two, with Jon Jones being the bigger of the two gentlemen. It's just seeing the two side by side was almost surreal. UFC 306 was full of moments. That event, I have to say, being somebody that's, all of us here together, we are, I would assume, people that enjoy moments in sports, different sports. Here we're talking about the UFC, mixed martial arts, but let's say generally speaking, fans of sports and just spectacles of this size. I've never witnessed an event that took my breath away like UFC 306 in this sphere. From the venue to the performances of the fighters, it was just, I've said it in many videos speaking about this event in general and specific fights, that it almost at moments felt surreal. It felt as if the whole event is almost AI generated, honestly. But it was real. And Jon Jones was sitting side by side, almost next to Alex Pereira. There was a few people in between them. Thank God they weren't sitting next to one another. No one knows what could potentially happen. But I felt the pressure sitting where I was at. A lot of pressure, those two being in the same room. And whoever decided to put those two so close in proximity is a genius. That person is a genius. If it was coincidental, then what a coincidence, right? Then that proves that there's no such thing as a coincidence. And Alex Pereira made a few comments after the interaction. I haven't heard anything of Jon Jones making any kind of comment. But Alex Pereira, obviously, as we said, offered himself to be a training partner ahead of UFC 309 for Jon Jones, and then the talks of a potential fight between the two. I know Jon Jones expressed interest in fighting Miocic only, and retiring after that. Obviously, you have an interim champion in the heavyweight division, the one that's very complicated, the one very, very complicated, that is our interim champion in that division is Tom Aspinall. It seems like nobody's interested in fighting Tom Aspinall. Perhaps Aspinall, Alex Pereira is an inevitable fight. Miocic, Jon Jones, the winner of that fight, faces the fight of Aspinall, Alex Pereira. All of these talks, of super fights. The fight that's really going to generate the most amount of money, obviously, and the one that's really, I would assume most people are interested in seeing, is the one between Alex Pereira and Jon Jones. Will this happen? I don't know. I really don't know. It's very difficult, but not impossible. If you made it this far, appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments and subscribe for more.